Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 150, and today we're going to be doing battle with Jax Quinn. And so I knew right from the start, as soon as I saw Jax spoiled, I knew this was the first champion that I would like to take into battle. I've loved Jax throughout the history of Teamfight Tactics. I didn't play with him much in the lands of League of Legends, but in TFT, he's always been pretty strong. He's one of these cool guys that you just slam against who's Rage Blade on and watch him auto attack over and over and over again. It's quite compelling to see in action. But converting that to Legends of Runeterra, I wasn't sure how it was going to play out, but you knew that we're going to be playing with the Improvises and the Weapon Masters when we're using Jax. And so thinking on that a little bit further, the next thing I wanted to do was, how do we take advantage of these weapons? Where do we do when our unit with the weapon dies, the weapon comes back to our hand, and how do we kind of redistribute things to be useful? And that's where we're looking at two separate paths with this deck. We either want to be boosting our units with Challenger, so if we say take a Petricide Broadwing, put a nice equipment on it, it's going to be much stronger in the middle of combat. You also run into some minor combos to where you just swap equipments out on the Broadwing to keep its health up and intact. But the first kind of ideal was with the challengers, right? We get quick attack or bonus attack or whatever. Our challenging units are going to be quite strong. The second ideal is with the scouts, right? As we've come out and found in the past, you play for Demacia with a bunch of scouts on board. It's much better to attack twice than it is once. And so if we get to spread these equipments out to our scout units, then we're going to get a lot of powerful and compelling and strong attacks coming from those. And so if we're looking to play scouts, that does come over and put us in Demacia, but to kind of tie everything together nice and well, we're using things like Cataclysm. And so Cataclysm, another fantastic card to use with scout units. If you're not familiar with all of the combos you can do with Cataclysm, if you haven't attacked yet and you Cataclysm a scout unit, then you'll get the attack token back. It also works quite nicely with the quick attack units, which Jax happens to have. Helps us do some strikes so we can come and level up our Jax. And then it also works with just, reasonably sized units, which turns out things like Night Ranger Defector are. And so there's a lot of nice and interesting combos in here. In my practice games, I've been really impressed with how good the improvised equipment are. Seeing them initially, I was kind of like, these are kind of dumb and kind of a joke. They aren't very good. But there's a lot of real strength coming out of these items. And one of the more powerful plays we're going to see is either just a Fleet Feather Tracker or a Broadwing into the Wandering Shepherd, loading up the Challenger unit with an Improvised, and then just going to town with that unit. Lots of interesting and powerful things there. The other thing to call out is the card Sharesies. The way that this will work is you can Sharesies a unit on with an equipped item onto another unit with an equipped item. This is something that we will fairly commonly do, and it doesn't feel that bad. So the unit losing the item gets the bonus stats, whatever the item was providing for that turn, it gets to kind of maintain. This pushes the item over onto another unit. If they're already equipped, their original one goes back. This works, interestingly enough, with Jax. We aren't playing things like Forge to help boost his Light of Acacia. Light of Acacia will be the worst item in our deck. And so it is nice to be able to make Jax exceptionally stronger by moving other equipment over onto him. And so that's it. This is what we'll be doing battle with today. Let's go ahead and switch back over to Runeterra, and you all know what we have to do. We can't get away without turning something premium. The pay-to-win price must be paid, and we need to pay up on one of our nice little common improvised units. It's not only going to make the unit itself here premium, it's going to make the item itself premium, doubling up on all the good stuff there. Pretty excited for it. And so, all right, off to battle we go. Let's see. Let's get our record up here. Get everything else up here. Things are going good and strong. So good stuff. Good stuff. Who do we run into first? Another Jax. Looking at Jax Victor here. All right. Let's see who does it better. Who does it the best out of the nice Jax cards? Powerful little start, right? We can hook up load up the Hookmaster on turn 2, and then share these over the improvised weapon to our Valor. See if we can't get a nice collection of attacks going in that way. I'm on board. Concurrent timelines? The fuck? Didn't expect that. I guess that works with improvise. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. All right. So keep in mind, whatever we want to take, we're probably going to want to put onto our scout unit, and that has me leaning towards the Pot of Pain. That's going to let us be a little bit safer in combat, making our bird a 3/3 and getting in some incidental damage with the impacts. So if he goes big, like if he gets himself into a spot here to where he can outright win this combat, I'm not like super excited to be attacking. I would prefer to just have like Sharesi's mana on board, but like I guess rolling into the next turn, right? If we go to next turn, we can just play a second Hookmaster, bank some mana, and then go with the Blinding Assault the next round. I think this will be okay. What did he pick up? The Overwhelm? Yeah, +2 attack and Overwhelm. Okay. And if this is your first time with equipment, you can play them with spell mana, right? So we can play this Pot of Pain using this little bit of spell mana. If you're watching the mana bars to the right, you can see the spell mana light up whenever you highlight Pot of Pain. And so, interesting little mechanic. Yeah. I hate Timeline's deck so much. Let me just go ahead and get that out of the way. He picks the big item, +3/+2 and can't block. It's fine. See what turns up. We do have the Scout Rake here, which is quite strong. I don't feel like we super need it. All of our units already have Scout anyways, so let's pick up the Pan of Pain. We're going to have to start dealing with this dum-dum. I don't know if we're going to have enough stats to effectively deal with this. We need a quick attack. All right, Broadwing will get the job done. It'd typically be a nice target for a Pot of Pain, giving him +2 health for the big Formidable, but got this big dum-dum over here anyways. Can't really deal with it. So are we just going to open? Is that where, or not open, but just attack here? Is that where we kind of stand at this point? I don't know, we might get a good improvised hit. We can, if he didn't play another card, right, we could hook the Sandhopper with Valor, but he doesn't seem super interested in having fun here. So the big one goes back to hand. We'll see if he swaps over onto the pickpocket. He doesn't seem that interested in it. So let's make our Broadwing big enough to win the combat. Right, pick up a Cataclysm. Quinn should be safe. And now we can start doing some cutesy stuff next turn in terms of using Sharesies and shifting this Pot of Pain over to our other units. Ideally, we'll get some pretty good attacks next round. It might be a decent round. I'm not sure. Like, we can use both the Golden Aegis and the Cataclysm to recover our attacks, and so we can look to say like Golden Aegis this upcoming turn and then shift back with the Cataclysm next turn or something. Lots of options. Let's see if he puts Scout Rake onto Victor. I feel like we can take this. We don't feel like we're in like super risk of taking too much damage here. It's a big fucking Victor. All right, so how are we going to go about this? We don't quite have the ability to take Victor down. It's a little unfortunate. I don't want to have to like cataclysm something into him just to try and have a positive combat. But everything we have is just like a little bit too small here. Like, it doesn't feel good to be cataclysming Quinn into a penitent squire. Let's see what item we get on her. We can still cataclysm after the fact, or we could play a Share's Eves if we want to. Make her big. We could have a potentially interesting attack here by attacking with both Quinn and Valor, accepting that we're just kind of give up on Quinn, but then shift this +3/+2 over to our Valor and maybe win a good combat from it. Getting so much value out of this concurrent timelines. Just like we're so short at this point, right? We can give the +3/+2 to make Valor a 5 attack. That's probably where we want to be. All right, let's see how that goes. That's not good. Okay, we're probably just dead here. We'll see. Wait and see what we pick up, but that's going to be quite tough to recover from. I mean, I guess if it comes down to it, we can still Cataclysm Quinn into Victor and see if we can't get a kill. He's down to 2 cards in hand, but this is kind of a rough spot. Let's go ahead and pull this one off. If he wants to trade his Victor for our Quinn, I think I'm okay with it, right? We still have reasonable stuff in hand. And if he doesn't, I mean, I guess we can look to, say, Golden Aegis our Quinn, and then Cataclysm her or attack with her into Victor and maybe get something going. So, let's see. Let's see how this goes. Be surprised. I mean, this is a pretty strong open attack with Victor into Quinn. Doesn't take it. Let's go ahead and reboost her. I don't want her getting, like, if he's going to make a hook attack onto Quinn, I don't want him getting a value attack. Interesting. She's also protected from the likes of Get Excited now. Alright, that might be good. I like it when things are good. So if he doesn't play another unit, then we will get the Quinn bird attack next round. Looks like he's got a burn spell now to stop this combat. Okay. Alright. He's got Victors. We got more Quinns. Let's see how this plays out. Why do all these cooking implements cause pain? You got the pan of pain, the pot of pain. It seems awful dangerous to be a cook in the lands of Runeterra. All right, though we got. I'm looking at a way to. I mean, I guess here we do have some good options with the Ranger Knight. We say put the Ranger Knight down, put the Pot of Pain on it. It will be a 5/5 tough, which point it can now take down the Crescent Guardian just outright. Or, I mean, I guess we could put Shepherd's Authority on it as well. But are we ready to just not play Quinn? Quinn feels like a little undersized at the moment here. So I think we want to play the Night Ranger. We want to play an item. And then we're probably going to be playing Cataclysm. But we have the Scout unit, so we can do some stuff first. See how scary Victor gets. Thought this thing had quick attack. It looked like it made a nice quick attack styled highlight, and I was like, shit, yeah, this guy's ready for battle now. This 7 attack quick attacking scout. Not quite where we were, but would have been sweet if that's what happened. So he equips onto the Guardian. If he has another burn spell, how bad is this, right? Like, I think I would feel much better if we just got Victor off of the board. And so if that's going to be our angle, are we okay to just wait until next turn and pick up attack tokens on our opponent's turn? So you got a Pot of Pain and a Scout Rake. We're pretty close to dead as well. I guess that's worth remembering. I've just been taking damage and not paying attention to our health. It does have Overwhelm on the Crescent Guardian. He's picked up Overwhelm on Victor too. So let's see. If he has a burn spell, then we'll lose our knight. But interesting. He just takes it. So now he has to block. Right? Or he's just dead. I did the mathematics on that one. That's the way that works. I checked it out. Alright, no burn spells, please. Fuck. Okay, GG. Dang, that was a big grind. It's tough. Like, I thought we were out of it a lot earlier, but it's tough going that late. Like, it makes me feel good about the deck. Like, I know this is like the first game that we've recorded, but when you play against a concurrent timelines deck that plays it on the first turn, and you take them that super late and don't immediately lose to their champion, like that all felt pretty good and strong, right? If your deck is doing the absolute most powerful thing that it can do and having the turn 1 timelines, and you're still getting your shit worked over, and that's it's kind of interesting. Everybody's playing Jax today, apparently. Okay. What do we got? Not quite ready for a Broadwing, I don't think. We can... Oh, if we don't play Broadwing, are we ever going to play it? I guess is the new question. Alright, let's get it in. I would like to interact with this Weaponsmith's Apprentice. I know we can't do it this turn, but you can't let them just sit around with these incremental advantages on board.
My heroic last stand never seemed to stick.
Right, Jax just got pretty strong. Okay. Yeah, we probably have to be open attacking next turn. Like, we can ignore the Reaper for this round, but like, we can't let him just pick up like +3 and +4 and +5 stats with the Weaponsmith. I just want to make sure our unit is big enough to handle Jax next turn. Ooh, quick attack is nice.
This all we got? Hey, I've done more with less.
So if we get a chance to switch over to some challengers, I'll be happy to have it. So we're going to get nugged this turn. We're going to take 7 from Jax and from the Reaper, but I think that's okay. It is a little scary noting that he picked up... Oh, fuck. Noting that he picked up the... Oh, well, fuck. I mean, if he's going to give us a chance to trade for the Weaponsmith, we just have to take it. We don't have to, like, open attack now, given that the Weaponsmith is dead, but that thing had to go. All right, well here comes the big damages. you have your big quick attack unit. I've got mine. Let's see if we can't just smoke this one. This old fuck bust coming at me. If he just takes it, we're going to be in a pretty good spot to end the game on our next attack. Got lots of scouts for that turn. Oh, sure.
Even if you fall, your fighting spirit will keep on going.
So we may have to play Quinn next turn just to block. I mean, he's pretty far away from lethal. Like, he's not killing us with an open. But we might need Quinn just for the stats. I don't know. I mean, he can't rally here. He's got the Challenger card again. Okay. I think I still like this. Like, yeah, he flipped his Jax, but going into next turn, we're going to have... Well, we'll play Quinn now. The next turn we'll have access to Golden Aegis plus the quick attack. So we can get in, like, 3 really big attacks next turn. It should be fairly tough for him to interact with Jax here. Ooh, Sharesies is quite good with the board we have. See where this goes. I'm curious to the amount of interactivity he's going to be playing. As everyone starts out into the meta, you don't play a bunch of removal spells and stuff. And so I'm curious if... that thing's slow. Now, the other thing is the stats and keywords of the attachment. I was like, how sweet is this going to be if we just get to move the quick attack over, or move the Challenger and shit over to our Quinn. It's not the way it works, but would have been sweet if it did.
Still heart, steady aim.
All right, how we doing? I assume he's probably going to have another unit here, but let's at least put the lethal forward. Pot of Pain's interesting. If he wants to block our Hookmaster with Jax, then we'll get the lethal, right? Quinn will deal 5, Hookmaster will deal 1. Then ideally we can just do some cute stuff next turn with Golden Aegis if we don't end the game here. I assume he has something, right? This is an odd spot to have absolutely nothing for 4 mana. But I don't know, maybe he's got a handful of Orns or something. Discard an equipment, do something. Oh, it makes a dude. Okay. Gotcha. So we're just leading with the Aegis, right? Oh shit. What up, Ornn? How close to lethal's that? Oh, they both have Overwhelm? God damn it. How do we get the most stats? We can play... We need to... he's got 14. So we need a 6 or a 5? Stop 5 of it? I think we can do that with Genevieve. The downside to Genevieve is our Quinn is still too small to kill his Jax. 7. We can play the Defector and then only fall to 2. And then try and save Genevieve for next turn. Maybe that's the way to go about it. Oh shit, where'd all them bonus stats come from? Oh, he forges when he attacks? Alright, GG. Dang. That interactivity was pretty good. Those challenger cards really boomed us that game. We just couldn't quite build up our board. Close stuff. Close stuff. But man, this is good. Good and exciting. I'm excited for life today. This is also the day of my my fantasy football draft. I'm playing 2 fantasy football leagues, a casual league and a more serious league. This is our casual draft today. So stoked. Love it when football season is rolling around. We only got to wait like 2 more weeks. Then we won't have anything else to talk about here. That's all we'll talk about. Just sit around and talk about football at this point. All right, let's hard mulligan. Let's look for our 1s and our 2s. Uh-oh. That was not a good start. Need our 3 drops if shit's like this is going to happen. All right, Broadwing makes it a little better. All the catches and sharesies with no improvises. A little bit painful. Sure. Like, if we have to bank through turn 3, it's of course, like, not awesome, but we at least have a lot of things to spend the mana on. Only, like, really lose out on 1 mana, but this Trundle Ornn deck is going to have much better late game than we're ever going to have. Take that quick attack. Shit's lame, dude. Shit's lame. And if you're not familiar with the interaction, obliterates will blow up your equipment, so you don't get to use them. Not cool. Okay, I think we're safe to take a Trundle hit, but let's at least get Quinn down. We can make some decent attacks next turn with Genevieve. Gonna have to use this catch in Radiant Strike mode. We feel different with the Ranger? Not really. Like, we don't have any equipments yet. I guess we could play the Ranger and then play the Hookmaster and see where that gets us. That's probably better than just adding Genevieve this turn. Let's see if we can't get a good equipment. They're okay. We can make a like +6 6 attack with the Fish of Whack. I think that's probably the place we want to be.
You're looking at Ionia Camp 10 times running.
Barrow's fancier coming down. Just a blocker at this point. He can't do too much to our board.
Still heart, steady aim.
All right, so we've got plenty of scouts. I feel decent enough about just hooking Trundle out of combat, and then on our next our follow-up attack, we can look to use the sharesies on the Hookmaster and probably just lose Quinn on this board, but I think that's okay. That would have been, I guess, an argument for picking up the Pot of Pain, putting ourselves in a spot like this to where we share the equipment over to a unit, ideally Quinn, and protect her a little bit. Whoa. Are we just going to spew? Are we going to play it all? I think so. Like, I don't feel like these cards are going to do too much more for the remainder of the game. So he's spent on mana. We get to take down the Fancier. If he wants to block our Quinn with Trundle, then he's going to get domed for damage. I feel like this is okay. Then if he takes the value hit, we're really strong still with the units we have left over. It's okay. It's very close to dead. Take it. All right. Let's lead with the Fleet Feather and see what happens here. Like, ideally, we'll just play Genevieve. There's a... I don't think it ever really changes. Like, if he plays a Blighted Ravine, we're still just got to play Genevieve, but... It gets us in... We're kind of in a spot to where we may not even be looking to use Scouts next turn.
We made it. Yay. But our stuff did it.
Well, that's an interesting addition to the squad. What are the chances that he would have already tried to burn down our Quinn if we play her? Let's see. I'm going to add the Jax to the board and see if he'll just spend some mana. I feel like he's probably just going to pass. Oh. Oh. Maybe he's not. This should be pretty close to ending it. Remember, this Quinn still got Overwhelm as well, so if he starts to block with these smaller units, we're still getting to chunk some damage in. Okay. Yeah, get that Jax animation. I appreciate it. So he gets +1/+1 for each equipped ally, and so he's going to be going up. He counts himself. Quinn flips. Alright. I bet that does it. Laser beam. Drop it, kitty. Got him. All right, GG. Glad we didn't go 0-8 with our first creation of the format. GG. Oh gosh, I was just thinking of the improvised mechanic. There's such a classic episode of The Office to where Michael Scott goes to improv class, and his shtick in every single improv skit is just to pull out a gun on the other person. And it's actually the skit has the Asian guy from Community and from Ken Jeong, however you pronounce that. I'm clearly not going to get it right on the first try, but that's his. I don't remember if that was his first feature role, was making his way into The Office, but did it. He's certainly made it at this point. All right, the Scout Rake. It's like I don't feel like we really need the Scout Rake with this deck. Let's just pick up the Fearsome Amulet and bring some attacks. Yeah, they finally tell Michael that he's not allowed to use a gun in any of his skits anymore. he just eventually whispers in their ear, "I've got a gun." Okay, stuff's happening. What is this action thing? Is that just a +1 attack? That's all the Darkened Bloodletter does? So many things to cycle through. Where are you at? The Darkened Bloodletters. Last breath, if my bear is not a Darkened Thrall, summon a Darkened Thrall. That is a 1/1 kind of thing. Okay. We'll figure out what that does eventually. Give me 10 to 15. I'll figure out what your card does. Alright, we're about to get a good combat though. What's this one do? Countdown 2, create a Treasure of the Sands? Sure. Now Jax. We'll see if we want to play Jax. We probably do. Probably rather just have this quick attacker instead of another item, since we can't take advantage of the item anyways. Curious about this card. I feel like I really hate a lot of the cards out of Shadow Isles that came out of the set. I don't like this lifesteal thing coming at us. I don't like the 1-cost thing that kills a 0 attack unit or a less than 2 attack unit. I don't like they got a new Wrath of God. You just get all this shit out of the game. What's that? Oh, that thing is good with action. Getting 2 tick-ups on the ability. Okay. So we could have taken him down with a Broadwing, but he had the combat trick. That's okay. This is the kind of turn now where we'll have to start considering just throwing away our equipped unit so that we can put we can throw the item onto our other dudes already on board. Uh-oh, this is probably relevant, right? give Jax barrier and forging. I'd say that's probably relevant. So what do we got? We'll go with the big stat weapon.
Catch and release only. Do you kill everyone you beat?
So what does Kane do? So many lines of text on this guy. He equips the scythe. That gives him like +1 attack when he attacks, right? Which one is it? Darkened Scythe. I can't even figure out what the fuck one it is. Well, this isn't... If we're gonna be real, this isn't that scary.
You got nothing I can't handle.
Feels like we just win with the open attack. Could have taken Kane down there. That was probably a little sloppy, not playing the +1/+1 to kill his champion. But we're pretty close to just outright winning this anyways. Jax isn't going to get his boost though, right? He doesn't get the... it's on attack he gets it, so we're not going to be like attacking like this, getting the 15 damage and then killing... getting an extra bonus with Jax. But we can sharesies a bunch of stuff in this combat that's going to be ideally strong. And then we can also just like re-catch... oh, he's just lethal. I was going to say, we can like push an item over to Jax and then catch the item back onto him. Do some weird little shenanigans like that, but we've already got the lethal here. All right, let those animations play through. Mark it a W for bust. Cool. We haven't seen any mysterious portals yet. I wonder how mad everyone's out there getting mad about the portals. So y'all's mad? I hate Runeterra champions and I hate portals. Fuck this game. I was curious. One of the things I was thinking in my brain piece in this morning and trying to make Jax decks was how do we just play Kai'Sa with Jax and then use the improvises to activate Evolve. I was really interested in playing the Cataclysms, and so I didn't do it. But I thought that this is like seeing the improvised mechanic and assuming it works with Kai'Sa and Evolve. I was just like, oh, that's a neat way to just get the ball rolling with her. It does limit you though, in that she doesn't have access to Demacia anymore. But thought there were some serious options there. All right, this seems like a reasonable enough start, and we jinxed it. Get Nora right from the start. Looks like this is some kind of turbo Nora deck, if you will, given that it's the only champion in there. Let's lead off with the Broadwing. Maybe we should just be starting with Jax here, but it's like I start to envision these cycles of plays, and I want to get the Broadwing having Challenger, and if we don't play it now, it's really tough for us to do.
Persistence is key.
Okay, we do have the Attune Bro. The Attune Bro then has the option to play Sharesies after the fact, and so might push something over with that. These aren't great for the Broadwing though. No real plus health ones, only a single plus health, but quick attack can be strong.
fun too.
Will 100% block if he attacks. I can't imagine he attacks with the Gleaming Lantern here.
Where would I go? A clue.
Okay, I don't think I'm quite ready to give up the Castaway. Might want to play a Sharesies next turn. So it just doesn't feel fantastic for him. The combat reel is one that plays quite nicely with scouts, just getting a shitload of mana back. I don't think we'll need it here. The upcycled rake is interesting to push over to Jax. This doesn't strike me as a deck that's going to handle a scouting Jax very well. So maybe that's the one to go with here. We don't have a ton to spend our mana on at this point.
Know any good Ionian sea shanties?
Nah, singing scares the fish. At least mine does.
But this is probably a fairly scary assistant librarian. See how much mana they spend.
My heroic last stands never seem to stick.
Okay, finally plays a fairy. No, I just don't think I'm super interested in the scout attacks this round.
Let me change up my style.
This feels like the spot where he's going to play like a Twin Disciplines onto his assistant librarian, and we need to be ready to protect our unit when he brings his shenanigans on us.
Mama's home.
Okay, but we should be able to start like hard clearing with our scouts now. Genevieve and Quinn about to hit.
On it and on 'em. Page 87.
Interesting. Like this seems like a terrible attack, right? What's his angle?
Hook, line, and sucker.
So if it's the Twin Disciplines that ends up killing our Jax, are we even really that sad about it? Probably not, but let's not risk that single point. I am okay to send the Hookmaster back to our hand. Well, actually, yeah, that's fine.
Chum bucket.
It doesn't have that great of a weapon, but I mean, no. Play Syncopate. I was curious, like after I did it, I kind of wanted to block a little bit more with the Castaway, but I guess this still just turns out fine. So we got the Scout Rake in hand. Here comes Quinn. We can look to Sharesies the quick attack over to Quinn Bird on our next attack. Seems like it should be strong. And of course we'll have Genevieve coming in as well.
My strength is yours.
I mean, the scouts just outright kill a ton of his stuff.
These woods belong to us.
He didn't play a unit, which is kind of interesting. Curious what his angle is here. The most dangerous thing he's going to have is this Fated Librarian, which, I mean, if we have to push our quick attack onto Genevieve instead of something else, I think that's more than fine. Oh, just nothing. Wow. Well, all right then.
Hold nothing back.
Righty-tighty. Weapon roulette.
Well, see, I assume he's gonna block something. I want to share this quick attack over to Genevieve, and so I'm not gonna do it pre-combat. Right? He has to block or he's gonna die here. I had to double check. We're not going to lethal even if we move the weapon somewhere else. Could have gotten a couple of extra points of damage in that way, but wasn't going to be enough.
Who's next? Bring it on!
All right, give me one of them rallies or something now. I'm ready. I'm ready to load up the upcycled rake onto Jax and then cataclysm him into Nora or something. Right? That's the play we're looking for here. All right. Here's a nice rally. That's what we needed. Guess we didn't need it. We had enough already. All right. GG. Have we played against all the new champions now? Jax, Kane, that was Nora. Ornn we saw. Who's the other one? Who are we missing? Can do it this way. Incomplete. Nora, Master Yi. We haven't seen Master Yi yet. Okay. Okay, maybe Master Yi will turn up. Oof. Man, all those Path of Champions changes came through as well. I've been doing a little bit of Path of Champions. I like to keep the FTP bus site updated with that. I started just posting all those videos to YouTube as well. But all the doomers and gloomers all hating on the Path of Champions and saying what a waste and how gone it is. Going back and deleting some Reddit posts now, apparently. I think I kind of like to integrate a bit of it. I think I'll most certainly look to regularly add. They added in that like weekly challenge thing to where all of the matches are just different every time, and I'm kind of interested in that. And so we'll see if I'm able to find the time to get some of that going or how it plays out and whatnot. But very, very interesting that they're bringing it forth. Like I felt like that. This is kind of an interesting spot for Combat Reel. Like it gives good stats just on its own right, but being able to move Combat Reel over to a Quinn Bird, that's quite powerful. Like with this hand of double blinding assault shares these golden Aegius, I think I'm really interested in getting the spell mana back. But no, it's like the thing, at least in my opinion, that was unfortunate with Path of Champions was all of the matches were always the same. Not the matches, but like the paths you would go on, and so it didn't have that slay the spire aspect to it, to where you were getting to where you were getting like something different every time you fired it up. And I don't have an opinion on if one way is better than the other, but I do think it's good that they got that added in, right? I don't know if I like the weekly quest version more than the idea of, well, I fired up this Galio run again, so it's going to be completely randomized. And so time will tell, but like given just like the like it's pretty insane the amount of content that exists in the Path of Champions now, and I think it's tough to like add all that randomization in. Like, are you ever really going to take advantage of it now that there's like a million different champions in the thing and a lot of different ways to go about it? I'm not entirely sure. So we'll see. But all right, what's going to happen to us here? Like, I feel like we're going to have to get Quinn down to win this game because things are about to start going bad for us. But if we just want to get more scout units on the board, we don't have to use Quinn. We can use blinding assaults and just load them up with the shepherd weapon. And so might be the way to go about it. Just adding a blinding assault. Like the thing that's going to be bad for us this turn is when he says, LOL, here's Viego. What? I think we can deal with it. That's not Viego. It's a big old boy, but it's not Viego. Now the new question is, do we care if Quinn dies? And it doesn't feel good. I think we're building up to a reasonably strong board here and don't need to just like give up on it right at this moment. I do want to make a scout attack though. So we'll send the defector in. It's a bad block with the collector. It's a somewhat scary block with Evelyn. So let's at least get a little bit out of this turn. We did have a bunch of spell mana. We could have looked to have just gone ahead and attached combat reel, but we have access to the sharesies to shift up to be somewhat scary.
Shut up and scream.
Interesting. Okay. So Evelyn falls to 3. We would need to hit her with 4. We can do that. I think the question is, do we want to like try and chip in damage on the Neverglade Collector? Oh, we have tough on the hook. Okay. Sharesies. Oh no, we're a damage short. Fuck. Fuck. How did she grow? Did she grow again? She was a 6. We dealt 4 to her, right? Oh, she had Fury. Okay. I gotcha. Alright, well, we're gonna have to try and attack around this stuff. We're like a fairly unhealthy life total, but Evelyn doesn't have Overwhelm yet, so maybe we have a way of dealing with it. I don't know. I'm liking this Quinn less and less. I'm curious how this would have gone if maybe we didn't have the mana to put like a bird on board, a combat reel, and then just open with the bird. But I don't like the way that we've approached this. He has a bunch of impacts. We can give Quinn quick attack now, which is quite strong. I could see an argument for giving Quinn the fearsome. Since their units are all small, it's just Evelyn and Viego that would be able to block a fearsome scout. But I think our Quinn's gonna need to win some combats here. And as it stands, like if he attacks, we can block Evelyn with one of our smalls. Put the... Interesting. Why does... What is his angle with the Neverglade Collector attack? Black Spear? Okay. We should have flipped these around, probably. Well, the idea was we're gonna Golden Aegis the bird, and then the bird will hook in Evelyn. Feels like he's got a spear or something, though. What the fuck's this thing do? Stop all enemy spells and skills targeting Evelyn. She strikes an enemy. Okay.
We're playing by my rules. Scouting ahead.
And then I guess it's not unfortunate, but when Quinn attacks next, the bird's gonna hook Evelyn and not be able to kill her. And she still have Fury? She had a shitload of Fury before. Nope.
Just like hunting for sleeves. No one escapes my aim.
Alright, get it done, scouts.
Shine, Valor.
Pan o' Pain, Combat Reel, all the birds in hand. Alright, let's see what we can do with these scouts.
That was hot. Don't waste my time.
Come on, birds. Let's show them how good we are at bird law here. This is what this is all about. All about bird law. I'll go toe to toe with any of you at bird law. Alright, let's drop another one. I feel like we're not going to play Cataclysm this turn. We're just going to try and hit with what we have. I do want to play Combat Reel, right? We can try and Combat Reel one of these smaller units, and that'll work nicely with the birds, making a 3/3 bird and bringing back some health. I guess the big thing to worry about here now is the Neverglade Collector, though. We need to make sure we can take it down. We need 4 attack to do that. Combat Reel lets us.
Still heart, steady aim.
So the fresh bird will come in and hook Evelyn. Might as well come in and hook his good unit. Well, I guess his only remaining unit. Quinn gets to attack freely. We'll get a spell mana back, so we can Cataclysm. I had to ask how this interaction worked the other day, and I don't remember. I'll have to look up Conan's tweet in terms of Cataclysming Quinn when she's flipped, but looks like this attack's at least going okay, outside of losing our champion. Well, that's not as... I guess it's not really that okay. All of our units are gone. But we're not dead, so that's a bonus. Yeah, we could have won this with Quinn, but now we're in a spot. It's on you, Hookmaster, to do the deal. Of course.
I'm always ready to play.
Of course.
You're looking at Ionia. Kept 10 times running.
Impact 4. It's not bad. I don't think we can come back out of this. We have the tools to take it kind of far, but this has been a fairly painful game. We drew 1 champion to him drawing 3 copies of Evelyn, which is a bit unfortunate to get wherever we were at, turn 9 or turn 10, and only draw a single copy of a champion. Oh, 3 and 3. That's tough. There's lots of choices in there that we could be making, and I'm sure we messed up some of that along the way. What we got here? This looks like it's probably another timeline stack. The improvised timelines coming at us. I was happy with how that went the last time, right? Their timelines, they played it on turn 1 and still were struggling. So that's not the sign of a good deck. let's be real. It's not a good sign if your deck does its key thing and is still getting dugged. Gonna run into Thermogenic Beam again. That was kind of annoying in the games before. I don't think we want to lead with Hookmasters in that case, but... Gonna go with the Fix 'em Up. We're like little limited in terms of the Broadwing and what it's going to be able to take down. But... the Pot of Pain feels like a little bit more limiting in terms of, like, I don't want to be playing Pot of Pain onto, like, our other challengers. That was pretty sick, dude.
Hot on the trail.
Alright, Caitlyn. Block. Oh shit, she just gets +1/+1, huh? Okay. She's still manageable. Alright, fresh Broadwing. We'll play a Hookmaster. I don't think we're gonna be dropping Jace this round or Jax this round. He's just not overly impressive.
I help when I can. Shut up when I can.
Jack said there'd be contenders out here.
Okay. Drops Reggie, not super worried about him. Get our nice scout attacks in. Doubt he wants to give up Caitlyn. If he does, we'll shift some abilities over. I think I want to keep the good statted unit around. Let's do this. I guess the question would be here is like, how worried are we about the various combat tricks that could come out? I think I'm fine to just like give up on the one of the hook masters at this point, but like putting a quick attack onto Bird and hooking Caitlyn with Bird feels a little on the dangerous end of things, but maybe this is okay. Quick attack onto Bird. You know what like Drake says, right? You familiar with Drake, the musical artist? He would suggest that you only live once. And so might as well just go for it if you're only gonna live once, right? It's Mystic Shot, sure. Oop. Nice. Way to soak that up with the tough.
Hook, line, and sucker.
Now, do we want to just save Genevieve for next turn? I think that's kind of where we stand. We're not going to get good usage out of Catch, but we can go ahead and just play Fix 'em Up. I don't care about the Jax. Protect our thing. Protect the Night Ranger. What is Night Ranger's song? Who's got that for us? It was oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. It's from like the 80s. Was it? Were they what is it? Motorhead, Motor End, what's your fight for life? Is that Night Ranger? I feel like I'm right. I'm rarely wrong, and so that's probably what it is. Let's just hook the small one at the moment. So he's got Mystic Shots or something. We'll still get a second hook this way. Oh, gross.
3 times over.
Alright. At least partial positive out of that, so we get to re-equip Genevieve with the Fix 'em Up.
Hold nothing back.
As getting a little aggressive there, I had to stop and double check if we could have just outright won the game. It would have been a couple points of damage short, but all right. Watch me not care, bro. Watch it. Let's see. We should probably realistically just take the Overwhelm here. Get our Scout unit in. Open with the Scout. And then if he wants to play the big AoE, like if his idea is to either play the big AoE or stop our attack, Hopefully he doesn't have enough to stop everything. Cool. 4 and 3. Not a bad day. Getting ready for that final battle. Oh, I gotta look it up. Dang. Alright, I got it pulled up. We will play the song. I can't have my videos getting demonetized when I don't make any money, but I was fucking spot on with Night Ranger. Sister Christian, it's this song. You're motoring. What's your price for flight? God, I fucking nailed it. I'm so smart and so awesome at everything. It's tough. It's tough being the smartest and best Runeterra player in the world, so... That song might have came out before I was born. Well, it had a music video attached to it, so it shouldn't have been. It should have at least been... I don't think MTV entirely existed before I was born, and so... Oh boy, Grandpa Roji here just trying to hit rank 1 NA. Come on, dude, the new cards just came out. The new cards literally just came out, and you're bringing Mono Kaisa. I don't know, man. Some people just need a lesson on how to have fun. All right. In with the birds. All the birds. Quinn birds, the broadwings, the blinding assaults. Got him everywhere. All right, we'll train for his Ranger's Resolve if he has it. Our board's pretty weak here. We need an Improvise. Okay. Turns out Sharesies doesn't do anything if you don't have any equipment. So that's something to watch out for. I feel like we had enough Improvises. Like, this has been the first game to where we've really struggled with having an equipment. All right, the combat cook has been added. This is, in terms of our deck, this has been kind of interesting. It's like I like it, but I'm curious what like the break-off is to where our deck becomes too expensive. And then also, like, at what point people just start playing pirates. And when people just start playing pirates, is this too slow? So we have to let him just attack here. We're in a bit of a bind, given that as we roll into next turn, we don't have enough like raw power on this board, and so right we can add the birds this turn, try it, but then we can't play Genevieve next turn, and so it's not awesome. Dude's got a Kaisa. Alright, well, it's at least a dude, I guess. It's not a particularly exciting dude, but our hand just does nothing. It feels odd just getting so hard punished for not drawing an Improvise, but like I'm not gonna play the bad ones. All right. If he passes, I think we'll pass. He's getting very well set up for a Kaisa, so we're gonna have to make sure we still have 3 mana for the round. Oh, was that not a scout attack? I thought we attacked with a Quinn bird. We attacked. Oh, we haven't equipped anything. I just assumed that our guy had scout. Fuck. Oh shit, my power might be going out. We still here? Seems like we're still here. Okay. It's Kaisa, yep. Oh my gosh, we're gonna be too small to kill her as well. Okay, GG. Oh, that was fun. I'm glad Kaisa's here for day 1. But all right, not a bad set of games. We managed to go 4 and 4. I feel like that was a pretty good exercise in trying out some of these new cards and some of these new concepts. The kind of feels that I immediately have for this deck are Catch was terrible. I don't want to play Catch anymore. I felt like that was just awful. I felt like there were going to be a lot more situations to where we were just going to have equipments in our hand. And I don't really want it. And so the catches should go. I feel like Sharesies is quite good, but 2 is probably kind of the limit. If you run into games like we did in that last game to where Sharesies is just an actual do nothing, then that's going to be pretty bad. And so I think it can go. The other kind of spots to where I'm curious at with this are that Challenger card was pretty interesting and good. The Weapon Master, give a unit Challenger if you've equipped something, draw a card. I think that there's some potential there, especially considering I don't really feel like we should be playing Fleet Feather Trackers, or we shouldn't be playing 3 copies of it. And so I think it's tough as we're here like right at the beginning of the format. Things tend to just be a little bit slower as people try to figure out the optimal versions of their deck. And so it's like I felt like a lot of these games we had just the time to play Combat Cook, but I feel like as time goes on, this has got to be kind of a limiting factor. And so I'm not entirely certain on the exact numbers here, but I feel like adding in something like 1 copy of Combat Cook could be okay. I feel like taking out 2 copies of Catch is going to be completely fine. And there's probably a good enough space to just cut out the Fleet Feather Trackers. I'm not entirely sure what I would want to replace it with, but it can probably and likely go. I can pull up the Weapon Master cards real quick. I don't... where are we at? Cards. Weapon, show me all of them. Blades of the Fallen, I never wanted Catch. Again, we're talking about taking out. I don't feel like this is a deck for Fear-Eth Reaper of the Sands. If you're doing something with ephemerals, if you're doing something like people playing concurrent timelines, maybe, but I don't feel like just generating an equipment on the first turn of the game is that powerful. And so I feel like this guy was kind of a dud. The Entrancing Lure is the one that we're considering adding copies of to our deck. And so, yeah, I mean, I guess if you want to get additional improvises into your deck, it's just going to be, do you want to either play Feareth or do you want to play additional copies of Combat Cook? And I feel like it's probably just playing additional copies of Combat Cook. And so I could see cutting out the catches, adding in a couple copies of Entrancing Lure, taking out the birds, adding in 1 more copy of Combat Cook, and then from that point, probably just want to add another 2-drop. Demacia has a nice load of 2-drops in the early game that would all fit in reasonably well, and that's probably the way to go about it. Now, something like the Blades of the Fallen is kind of interesting. I don't think it's a particularly strong card. This just preserves an equipment without it going back to your hand, but as we're playing all of these scouts, it does have a bit of potential there. So if you put an equipment on a Quinn bird, then you Blades of the Fallen the Quinn bird, you get a trade, and then you get a fresh unit with that equipment, and it's not as gone. I don't know. As I like say all the words, it doesn't feel that good, but there is some potential there, and so maybe it would be okay, maybe it wouldn't, but yeah, I'm leaning towards just like maybe just 1 copy of Entrancing Lure, maybe 1 or 2 copies of Sharp Sight, 0 copies of Catch, 1 copy of Combat Cook, and then kind of fill in the rest of the way. I think that gets this into a pretty good and interesting spot. But yeah, the numbers here, not perfect, but I liked a lot of the concepts that we were able to pull off. That right from the start, just saying, okay, my scout units are going to be good with these weapons. We get to use the weapons multiple times. If we're wanting to attack multiple times, Scout's the way to do it. Golden Aegis is the way to do it. Cataclysms really help. Cataclysms are also kind of double good if you're able to have scout units on the board and refresh your attack token, or if you picked up a quick attack off of the improvises, or if you're just sending Jax into the mix. Very, very powerful there. But lots of interesting concepts here. Very happy with the day 1 deck and Untuned and how everything went with this. And it was a fun and interactive collection of games, minus having to play against Kaisa. Just, come on, dude. You're better than that. You put Combat Cook in the Kaisa deck, I'll give you that. But you're better than that on day 1. Just kidding, man. Have fun however you want to have fun. But that is going to do it for us today. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. I hope you also sharpened up on your bird law. You maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.